My name is Emily. I'm 33 years old. 3 days ago, I buried my husband. I thought losing him would be the worst day of my life. I was wrong, because exactly 72 hours later, his own brother knocked on my door, holding a bouquet of white roses. I thought he came to comfort me. Instead, he looked me straight in the eyes and smiled and asked, "Emily, will you marry me?" I couldn't breathe. My husband had been dead, and for only 3 days, I honestly thought he had lost his mind. Before I could answer, he leaned closer and whispered something that froze every drop of blood in my body. "You already know why my brother had to die." I stared at him. My hands started shaking. What did he just say? Was he joking? Or did he know something the police didn't? I forced myself to stay calm, because right then I realized something. If I reacted, I'd never learn the truth, so I looked him in the eyes and quietly said, "Yes." His smile got even bigger. He thought I had accepted his proposal. He had no idea. I had just accepted a mission to discover who really murdered my husband, and I wasn't leaving until I had the answer. I said yes, but not for the reason. He thought Ryan smiled, not the smile of a grieving brother, the smile of a man who thought he had already won. He gently took my hand. "I knew you'd make the right decision. I'll come back tomorrow. We'll tell the family together." Then he walked away. The moment his car disappeared, I locked every door in the house. My entire body started shaking. I replayed his words again and again. "You already know why my brother had to die." No, I didn't know, but he clearly believed I did. That meant he was hiding something. I walked into our bedroom. Everything was exactly the way my husband had left it. His watch, his glasses, his favorite jacket. I couldn't stop crying. Then something caught my attention. His old phone. The police had already returned it to me. They said there was nothing important inside, but suddenly I remembered something. A week before he died, he looked terrified. He hugged me tighter than usual. Then he whispered, "Emily, if anything happens to me, never trust Ryan." At that moment, I thought he was just stressed. Now, those words hit me like a truck. I grabbed the phone. The battery was almost dead. I charged it, waited, and finally, the screen lit up. The password still worked. I opened his messages. Nothing unusual. Work, friends, family. Then I noticed one folder hidden, no name, no icon, just a tiny gray dot. My heart started racing. I opened it. Inside, there was only one video, recorded the night before my husband died. My hands were trembling so badly, I almost dropped the phone. I pressed play. The video started. The camera was shaking. My husband looked directly into it. His face was covered in fear. And then he said, "Emily, if you're watching this, it means they finally did it." My heart stopped. Just then, someone knocked on my front door. 3 slow knocks. I froze. Nobody was supposed to know I was home. Then Ryan's voice came from outside, and, "Emily, did you miss me already?" The video changed everything. I quickly paused the video. My heart was pounding so hard that I could barely breathe. Ryan was still outside, knocking, slowly, patiently. "Emily, open the door." I wiped my tears, took a deep breath, and hid my husband's phone under a pillow. Then I opened the door. Ryan smiled, holding a small gift bag. "I forgot to give you this." His eyes scanned the room, almost like he was looking for something, or someone. I forced myself to smile. "Come in." The second he stepped inside, I noticed something strange. His shoes were covered with fresh mud, but it hadn't rained in our town for almost a week, so where had he been? He sat on the couch, looking completely relaxed. Then he suddenly asked, "Emily, did the police return Michael's phone?" My stomach dropped. Why was that the first thing he wanted to know? I pretended not to care. "They said it was empty." Ryan let out a long breath, almost like he had been holding it in for days. Then he smiled again. Good, he believed me. A few minutes later, he finally left. The moment the front door closed, I locked it again, ran to the bedroom, and pressed play. The video continued. My husband looked exhausted. Behind him, I could hear 2 men arguing. Then he whispered, "Ryan thinks I don't know, but I found the insurance papers." "Insurance papers?" I frowned. Michael continued, "If anything happens to me, don't believe it was an accident." Suddenly, the camera turned toward the table there was a life insurance policy, value $5 million, and the beneficiary wasn't me. It wasn't even Ryan. It was someone whose name I'd never seen before. Victoria Kane. I whispered, "Who is Victoria?" Just then, the video ended. At the exact same moment, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. A woman's trembling voice whispered, "Emily, my name is Victoria. Your husband died because of me." The woman who knew my husband's secret. I couldn't move. The phone was still pressed against my ear, but my mind had stopped working. A stranger had just said, "Your husband died because of me." My hands went cold. I didn't know whether to hang up or ask the question that was burning inside me. Finally, I whispered, "Who are you?" The woman took a shaky breath. "My name is Victoria Kane. And your husband was trying to protect me." "Protect her." My heart started racing. "Protect you from who?" There was a long silence, then she said, "From his own family." I felt a chill run through my body. No. I wanted to believe she was lying, because believing her meant accepting something impossible, that my husband's death was not an accident. Victoria continued, "And Emily, I know this sounds crazy, but Michael discovered something about Ryan, something that could destroy him." I looked at the hidden video still open on my husband's phone, the insurance papers, the name Victoria Kane. Everything was connected. I asked, "Why was $5 million left to you?" Her voice became emotional. "Because Michael knew I would need protection after he was gone." I froze. Protection from what? Before I could ask more, she said, "Emily, your husband wasn't cheating on you." That sentence hit me hard, because for a moment I had thought the worst. Victoria continued, "Michael was helping me escape. Escape from Ryan." My breathing became heavier. Then she said something that completely changed the story. "Ryan didn't want your husband dead because of money. He wanted him dead because Michael found out what happened 10 years ago." 10 years ago? I sat down. What happened 10 years ago? Victoria went silent. Then a message appeared on my phone from Ryan. I opened it. Only 4 words were written. "Don't trust Victoria, Emily." My blood ran cold, because at that exact moment, another message arrived from Victoria. It said, "Emily, don't trust Ryan." I stared at both messages. 2 people, 2 warnings, 1 truth. Someone was lying, and one of them was responsible for my husband's death. Then Victoria whispered one final thing before ending the call. "Emily, the house everyone was hiding find the old house a minute." Ryan I just sat there, staring at the 2 messages. Ryan said, "Don't trust Victoria." Victoria said, "Don't trust Ryan." One of them was lying. Maybe both of them were. But one thing was certain. My husband died trying to protect something, and whatever it was hidden inside the old house. I grabbed my car keys. It was almost midnight. The old house was 30 minutes away. It was the first home Michael's parents bought after they got married. Nobody had lived there for years. Ryan once told me it was abandoned. Now, I wasn't so sure. As I drove, I kept remembering my husband's last hug. He held me tighter than usual. Then he whispered, "If anything happens, promise me you'll never stop looking for the truth." At the time, I thought he was just being emotional. Now, those words felt like a map. When I reached the house, every light was off. The place looked completely empty. Broken windows, dead trees, rusted gate. But something didn't feel right. There were fresh tire tracks. Someone had been there. Recently. I stepped inside. The floor creaked beneath my feet. Dust covered everything, except one hallway. Someone had cleaned it. I followed the footprints until I reached Michael's old bedroom. Inside, everything looked untouched. His childhood baseball trophies, his school photos, even an old family picture. Then I noticed the picture frame was hanging slightly crooked. I took it off the wall. Behind it was a small metal safe. My heart started pounding. The safe wasn't locked. Inside, there was only one envelope. Across the front, in my husband's handwriting, it said, "Only Emily." My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was a single letter, and one small USB drive. I unfolded the letter. The first sentence made my entire body freeze. "Emily, if you're reading this, Ryan found me before I could go to the police." Tears filled my eyes. Michael knew. He knew he wasn't going to survive. I kept reading. Every word made the truth darker. Then Headlights suddenly lit up the front window. A car had stopped outside. I quickly looked through the curtain. My heart nearly stopped. It was Ryan, and he wasn't alone. Two men stepped out of the car with him. Ryan looked straight at the house, then smiled. "She's here. Truth, my husband, died protecting." Ryan's smile sent a chill through my entire body. He pointed at the house. "She's inside." One of the men beside him replied, "What if she already found it?" Ryan laughed. "Then we make sure she never leaves." My hands started shaking. I had only seconds. I grabbed the USB drive, slipped it into my pocket, and then folded Michael's letter and quietly moved toward the back door. But before I reached it, I heard glass shatter. They had broken in. Ryan shouted, "Emily, there's nowhere left to run." I hid behind an old bookshelf. Their footsteps echoed through the hallway. Closer, closer, closer. I held my breath. Then my husband's words came back to me. "If you ever find the USB, don't watch it alone." Don't watch it alone? Why? Suddenly, I remembered something. Michael's best friend, Daniel. He worked for the FBI. Without thinking, I texted him only 3 words. "I found it." Then I shared my location. Seconds later, Ryan walked into the room. He looked directly at me. His smile disappeared. "Give me the USB." I stood up slowly. "No." He took another step. "You don't understand. That USB belongs to me." I looked him straight in the eyes. "It belonged to my husband." Ryan suddenly pulled out a gun. My heart stopped. Michael should have listened. You should have listened too. Before he could move another inch, blue and red lights exploded through the windows. Police cars surrounded the house. Someone yelled, "FBI, drop your weapon!" Ryan froze. He looked toward the window, then back at me. For the first time, I saw fear in his eyes. He tried to run, but within seconds, FBI agents tackled him to the ground. The other 2 men were arrested. Daniel rushed toward me. "Emily, are you okay?" I nodded, barely able to speak. He held up the USB drive. "You have no idea how many lives this just saved." I stared at him. "What was on it?" Daniel looked at me quietly, then answered, "Every conversation, every payment, every plan." Ryan didn't just murder Michael. He murdered 3 other people. "And your husband recorded everything." Tears rolled down my face. Michael knew he was risking his life, yet he still chose to tell the truth. A week later, Ryan was officially charged with multiple murders, the insurance fraud, the conspiracy, everything. As for Victoria, she wasn't my husband's secret lover. She was the only surviving witness Ryan had been hunting for years. Michael had been protecting her because he knew one day she would help expose the truth. Months later, I visited Michael's grave, placed fresh white roses beside his headstone, then whispered, "You kept your promise. Now I've kept mine." I walked away, not as a broken widow, but as the woman who finished the fight my husband died trying to start.